January 2024, the New York Times confirmed it. General Motors had been selling real-time driving data on millions of American drivers, braking patterns, GPS coordinates, hard cornering events, directly to insurance companies. Drivers had enrolled in a program called Smart Driver. Many had no memory of signing up. Some were auto-enrolled the first time they connected a phone to the car's Bluetooth. The modem is still in your car. It is transmitting right now. This video shows you exactly how to kill it, the specific sequence that stops transmission without triggering a fault code, without voiding coverage, and without bricking a $600 module. You will also know how to confirm the job worked because the modem does not tell you when it stops. The wrong approach: find the telematics unit, unplug it, done. On a 2015 truck, that would have worked. On anything built after 2018, it generates fault codes, signals to the dealer what you attempted, and, in some configurations, leaves the modem partially operational while doing it. You take the mechanical risk, the modem keeps transmitting.
The telematics control unit, the TCU, sits on the vehicle's CAN bus, the same communication backbone running the ABS system and the airbag module. On a 2020 Ram 1500, disconnect it at the wrong point and it throws airbag fault codes. The airbags are fine. The shared wiring does not care. Ford's 2019 Telematics Integration Guide, a service document in the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's database, specifies that the TCU must maintain bus connectivity at all times, including in low power states. Emergency services only require the module to wake on impact. Continuous bus connectivity at all times is the data logging requirement, not the safety requirement. The mandate that put modems in every vehicle sold after 2018 came from a 2016 NHTSA proposal built around automatic emergency notification. Automakers adopted the standard. They also recognized the infrastructure could serve a second function the mandate never required. By 2019, GM had built a parallel data pipeline into the same hardware. The emergency call capability was real. The data harvesting operation running alongside it was not mentioned in the owner's manual. That architecture was engineered deliberately. They needed the modem to survive casual removal attempts. It does, unless you apply the correct sequence in the right order. 4 methods for disabling the TCU get recommended consistently on forums, in YouTube comment sections, in posts from people who read about it but never actually ran it on a late-model truck. 2 work without triggering a fault code. 1 works with a legal caveat depending on your state. 1 leaves the modem running and hands you a repair bill on top of it.
The first method is antenna disconnection. GM trucks, Ford F-150s, and Ram 1500s from 2018 onward use a shark fin antenna on the roofline for cellular transmission. That antenna connects to the TCU via a coaxial cable routed through the headliner. Disconnect the cable at the antenna end, not at the module, and the TCU stays powered, stays on the CAN bus, and produces 0 fault codes. The module is running. It has no path to a cell tower. Nothing gets logged to the dealer's remote system. On a 2019 to 2023 Chevrolet Silverado, the shark fin uses a standard SMA connector, no proprietary tool. The headliner trim panel at the rear of the cab comes down with 4 plastic clips and 2 T20 Torx screws. 2 hours the first time. Reinstalls in 10 minutes if you need to reverse it. On a 2019 to 2023 Ram 1500, the shark fin sits at the rear of the cab roof and uses a FACRA Z-coded plug, the same connector used for satellite radio on those trucks. FACRA connectors require a light clockwise twist before pulling. Yanking straight off damages the housing. The headliner comes down with 6 plastic clips along the rear edge and 1 T25 Torx screw at the center. Allow 3 hours the first time. The 2020 to 2023 Toyota Tacoma uses a different routing. The shark fin is present, but Toyota runs the TCU antenna through a secondary connector inside the headliner rather than directly at the fin. The access point is behind the rear interior dome light panel, 2 plastic clips, and a pushpin retainer. The coaxial connector at that point uses a standard SMB snap fit. No twist required. Allow 90 minutes the first time. The 2020 2022 to 2023 Tundra uses an identical routing, the connector in the same position relative to the dome light housing on both vehicles. The second method is pulling the dedicated TCU fuse. On the 2018 to 2022 Ford F-150, it is fuse F105, a 15-amp mini-fuse in the upper left block of the underhood fuse center. On the 2019 to 2023 Ram 1500, it is fuse F57 in the integrated power module on the driver's side of the engine bay. Pull it and the module goes dark. No power, no transmission, no fault code. 30 seconds to remove, 30 seconds to reinstall when you need remote start for a specific trip. The caveat, in some trim levels, the TCU fuse feeds the emergency call module on the same circuit. Federal e-call requirements mandate the system be present in every vehicle sold after 2018. They do not universally require it to be active in service, but some states have inspection requirements that flag a non-operational e-call module. Check your state's vehicle inspection standards before pulling this fuse. If e-call compliance matters where you live, the antenna disconnect is the cleaner path. The antenna is disconnected. LexisNexis gets nothing. On GM trucks from 2020 onward, there is one more step before the job is actually finished. So, a full fuse map, make, model, and model year from 2018 through 2024 is linked in the description below. F-150, Silverado, Ram 1500, Tacoma. Pull the wrong fuse in the wrong truck and you are replacing a $600 module. That chart exists so you do not find out through trial and error which fuse it is. The third method gets recommended more often than either of the two that work. Search Disable Car Modem on any truck forum and it comes up first. Hundreds of upvotes from people who never tried it on a post-2019 Ram. It costs you the repair bill and leaves the modem transmitting while you pay it. Direct wire cutting at the TCU. On a 2017 or earlier truck, this was a reasonable approach. On a 2020 or later Ram 1500, the TCU shares a ground circuit with the HVAC control module. Cut the antenna lead at the wrong point and climate control goes offline entirely. The diagnostic to trace that fault runs 2 to 4 hours of dealer labor at roughly $165 an hour. A Ram owner in Arizona documented the full situation on Dodge Talk in March 2024. He followed forum advice. The bill came to $1,340. He drove home with a working heater and a modem that had never stopped transmitting. The fourth method is software-based disabling through third-party OBD2 tools. Products marketed specifically for this have been selling since 2021. None of them work on post-2018 vehicles. GM, Ford, and Stellantis locked write access to the TCU's cellular firmware in the 2019 model year. An aftermarket OBD2 dongle reads module health data from the CAN bus. It cannot write to the cellular stack or interrupt transmission. The reason these products keep selling despite not working, it produces a visible response in the companion app. Plug the dongle in, run the app, and module health data appears on the screen. It looks like the tool did something. That is read access, not write access. The cellular stack is unchanged. The modem is reading fine because it is still transmitting fine. Two methods work. Two drain your wallet and change nothing. The antenna is disconnected. The fuse is out. On a 2015 truck, the job would be finished. On GM trucks from 2020 onward, the modem kept transmitting for 3 more days while the driver assumed it had not.
The TCU in the 2020 and later Silverado, Sierra, and Suburban contains a small lithium backup cell inside the module housing. GM's own service documentation describes its function as maintaining the internal clock and a small data buffer during power interruptions. Pull the main fuse and that backup cell keeps the module alive. A technician on the GM Trucks forum documented a teardown of the 2021 Silverado TCU in late 2023 and measured the window at 72 to 96 hours on the internal backup cell alone. During that window, if the antenna is still connected, the module transmits. Whatever it buffered before the fuse came out uploads in full. 3 days of braking data, cornering events, GPS coordinates, sent while you assumed the job was done. This sequence defeats this. With the antenna first, the backup cell has nowhere to transmit toward. The module is alive, clock running, buffer intact, but there is no cellular path out. Pull the fuse second, and the module powers down with the buffer undeliverable. The manufacturers designed the backup cell to survive a power interruption and resume transmission when power returns. Disconnect the antenna first, and that resumption has nowhere to go. Ford's base TCU on the 2019 to 2022 F-150 does not include the internal backup cell. The higher-tier Sync 4 module does. Your build sheet tells you which you have, a white sticker in the glove box, shipped with every U.S. market truck for decades. The option code for the advanced telematics package on an F-150 is 76C. If 76C is on your sticker, treat the truck the same as a GM. Antenna first, fuse second. Reverse the sequence and you handed the module a 72-hour upload window on the way out. The modem does not give you a dashboard light when it stops transmitting. The truck drives exactly the same after the job as it did before. Pull the wrong fuse and you will not know until the insurance renewal comes back with a premium increase based on data the modem uploaded after you thought you had stopped it. The verification step takes 10 minutes. The majority of people skip it. 3 ways to confirm. First, if you canceled an active OnStar or Connected Services subscription before disconnecting the antenna, log into the account portal 24 hours after the job. A status showing vehicle connectivity lost at the time of the disconnect confirms the module is offline. If the account status never updated, you pulled the wrong circuit. Second, an RF signal detector near the shark fin mounting location. A basic handheld detector costs under $40. Hold it against the roof near the antenna base. If the modem is still active, it will read signal in the 700 to 900 MHz cellular band, the primary LTE band for GM OnStar and Ford Connected Services. After a clean disconnect, it reads nothing.
Software-defined radio plugged into a laptop will give you a frequency log you can save, as documentation if you want a record. Third, an OBD2 reader pointed at the TCU's own health data. A powered module with no cellular path will report a connectivity fault in its own health log. That is the correct post-disconnect state. If the TCU reports fully healthy, the fuse you pulled was not the right one. 10 minutes of verification is cheaper than a renewal cycle with your driving data still on file. The assumed trade-off is minor, a few app features rarely used. One of the things that goes dark when the modem does is worth knowing before you start the job, not after. Emergency call, Ford's 911 assist, GM's automatic crash response, routes through the TCU. With the modem offline, automatic crash notification does not reach emergency services. On a rural highway, alone, at night, that gap is real. A Rescue Link 400 personal locator beacon closes it for a one-time cost between $250 and $320. It transmits a GPS coordinate to search and rescue if you activate it manually or if crash impact triggers the device. No SIM card, no data broker. It does one job. The rest of what goes offline is less consequential. Remote start through the manufacturer's app, gone. Over-the-air software updates, gone. The factory Wi-Fi hotspot on GM trucks runs through the same module, so that goes too. If any of those features matter on specific trips, the fuse pole handles it, 30 seconds each way. The surveillance payload and the connected features are the same hardware because General Motors built it that way deliberately. The data harvesting operation was the product. The remote start, the hotspot, the connected app, those were what GM needed you to want so you would accept a permanently transmitting modem in your truck without asking what else it was doing. That is the thing the emergency services story was covering for from the beginning.